Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys doing well. Today, I'm gonna do a little bit something different that we have been doing lately. We're gonna actually interact with you a little bit more. We're gonna be trying to go through the process of design. In this case, it's gonna be the design of a rotating base for a trophy. This is a custom work that I have been tasked to do. So you'll see that process, the different software that I use to design it, and then hopefully by the end of the day we will get it to cut and actually, being built. I have done some of the work ahead of time just to make this process a little faster, but you will see how and what I think and how do I go through the design process for this product. First, I'm going to show you a quick view of what it should look like at the end. Here's a picture that I created of the design, and if you see here, I'll make this a little bigger. So here you will see the base. This base is about 8 inches wide. It's going to be a little wider than that. It's going to be closer to 9.25, 9.5 inch wide. It's going to be round. It's going to have a pedestal that is about 6 inches by 6 inches square, and 7.25, 8 inches tall. And then on top of that is going to sit a eagle head that the customer is going to be providing, or actually who I'm doing this for will provide, and they will finish that part of the project. So this is the design. I normally design things in Lightburn. I am fairly comfortable with the software. I understand the software, how it works. So I normally design in Lightburn, even though this is going to be a CNC project. So I create the file in Lightburn, then I export it as a SVG, and I bring it into Carbide Create, and I finish the design and all the other parts in Carbide Create for the design of the for the actual machine to cut the part out of wood. In this case, I'm going to be doing a rotating base, so I acquired this base here. This base is a 5.75 inch rotating base. It can be powered by USB or a battery, and it has different features. It can turn 360 degrees in either direction. You can have it done at different speeds. You can have it do only like half turns, quarter turns, full turns, but just going back and forth. So this is the base we're going to be using. The other part of the trophy, I'm going to reach out and get it, is this big old chunk of wood. This is a 6 by 6 square, and I think it's about 7.75, 8 inches. Let me see. Can't remember the actual dimensions. 8.5 tall. So it's about 8.5 inches tall. And there's going to be an eagle head that is going to be placed on top, and this is what's going to rotate. It weighs a little bit. I would say it weighs about 4 or 5 pounds. So this is what we're going to be doing. So basically it's going to be something like this, and it's going to rotate with a base down here that is going to keep it all together. So key things with this is it has to be balanced, so it's got to be centered properly. It has to be able to withstand the weight. This base is rated to 22 pounds, so it should be, I don't think I'm going to exceed that weight. And we're going to be doing the rest of the design, for that. Let me take out this here. So let me show you the design one more time. I think I didn't click it for you guys to for you guys to see. Here's my, oh man, what's this? Camera is looking at the wrong thing. Here we go. Here we go. So this is the design. So it's about 6 by 6, and that's how it's gonna be. So let's go through the process of the design, and that way you guys can see what I'm working on, and give you hopefully a little insight on how things are designed, or things that you may be thinking when the time comes for you to design a product like this. You can see the screen. Here we go. So already designed all these things in Lightburn. So what you see here, the center circle is the where the base is going to be embedded in. So I took some measurements, like I said, these 5 3/4 inches or thereabouts. I'm using the width of the space here. The depth, it is 1.37, 1.035. For smaller measurements, I like to use millimeters, which just makes more sense to me. So we're looking at 26, but I don't want it to completely embed. I want to just have a little protruding. So I'm gonna go about 25 millimeters deep. So I'm gonna encross this, and there's gonna be a lip in this area here that is gonna, and the same with the top. The top, I'm not gonna make it all the way down here. It's gonna be just to the lip of the top part. That way it can have some wiggle room just in case it's not completely center balanced and doesn't get stuck. Okay, so that's what this is. This is what this square, the circle here is. The square that you see here, the light colored square, that area is the base, or this trophy base that I already showed you is this area here for the trophy. And then the outer circle is how big that base and the platform where this trophy is gonna sit on. That it's roughly, here it says, let me see, it says that it's 235 millimeters, which translates into 9 1/4 if I remember right. Yeah, about 9 1/4 inches. This space here, this smaller square, what it is, it's a access to the controls, and I'm going just over 1.5 inches to have some space, so whoever the user can go and click on the buttons. This other square here is going to be a feature I'm going to cut off. That way it's not that deep. If not, it would be about 1.25 inches to almost quite deep, and I don't want that. So it would be, I want to make it more accessible. So that's what that is. I might change the design here. I might make it more like of a little angled area, so it's easier to access. So still debating on how I'm gonna do that area, but I might do that on the final design on Carbide Create. And so with this design as it is, I'm just gonna export it to Carbide Create and get it there. I'm gonna convert everything to a line so I can see it. Actually, that's all fills. Let me change that to lines. So all those are gonna be doing the way I can bring that into Carbide Create. So let me do a quick save, file, export, and I'm gonna export it as an SVG. And here's the file that are gonna be. Yes, I want to replace it. Then I'm gonna bring you into Carbide Create, and so the materials are gonna be working with. It's about 10.5 by 10.5. So let's create that. So one thing that if you're using Carbide Create and you set it up for either metric or imperial, all you have to do is do a quick thing here. So if you see it's 10 to millimeters to metric, but I do know that the measurement is about 10 1/4. So I'm just gonna go 10.5, 10.5 inch, and it will change it automatically to whatever that is on imperial. And the same down here. So 10.5 inches, and it will do it. And there's my square. That's the area we're going to be working with. My thickness is, oh, I forgot to do that. My thickness, I want to say, is 1.5 inches. Down. So it does know how thick it is. And then I'm going to import. I'm going to import here. And my file will save. I can't remember where I saved it. I just do a quick search. So it's going to be 25 1030. That's the file I'm looking for. Here we go, that's my SVG, and that's my file. So this is what I created. This had, I was just looking some other data here. So this is my file. I'm gonna bring it over. First things, I know it will fit within my material. Let's start making some design changes here. So I'm gonna change this to be more of a wide mouth thing. So I can go, I may be able to edit that. One is going to be a pocket in the area, and this here is just a reference. So let's start with the inside. So I like to work from the inside out and when I'm creating my different cut path. So we're going to go to toolpath. I'm going to create a pocket, current, and so we're gonna change this. So we're gonna do that with a big, it's a lot of material to remove. I'm gonna use a 1/2 inch bit. So we're gonna go here, we're gonna change my bit. So we're gonna go to my list, my end mills, and it's gonna be my 12.5. Here we go. Select, that's gonna be it. We're gonna run that about 3 millimeters per step over 6, yes. I wanted to make it really nice and flat. So it's actually going to go 7. Really nice and flat. Then the depth we're going to go, we already determined that it's going to be 24. 25. Let's go 24 here, I can test it. So let's go 24. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. That's good, that's good, that's good. And it's going to tell me, I'm going to call this base pocket. Okay. Bam, that looks good. Now the other measurements I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to make the same depth for that pocket for so we can access the controls. So we're going to click on this, and we're going to do another pocket. Well, one thing I'm going to do, let's go back to design. I don't need to cut all the way over there. I just need to cut to here. So I'm going to bring my design. I'm going to drop this to about here. Same to about there. I'm going to get rid of this S here. There you go. So that's what I want to cut. That's actually worked out really good. Done. So this area here is going to get cut. And we're going to bring this, actually these nodes. Nope. I'm going to bring these nodes here. Okay, that's better there. Done. And then I'm going to cut, because it's going to come here, it's going to come with a round. So I want to make sure that it's takes that toolpath, pocket, here we go, the same bit, so we're going to go to 24 again. Okay, looking at how long it's going to take. It's going to take 5 minutes, so 5 minutes and 18 minutes for those two. And then the third pass is going to be this one here. We're going to go back to design. Let's make some tabs. We're going to put a tab right here. Middle. Let's put one here, one here, one here, and one here. Okay, and that's going to be all my tabs. So when I cut it out, it doesn't go flying. We're going to go back to toolpath. We're going to do a, let's say contour. We're going to go for, let me get the material so I know exactly how deep we need to go. And the material is 34.5 millimeters. So I'm gonna go 35 deep. So we're gonna go 35 deep. We're gonna do that on the outside because I want to have the actual dimension. we're gonna use the 1/4" bit compression. So I'm gonna go to softwood end mill 1/4". That's good there. That's good. That's good. Let's just go. I'll switch. I like to go deeper per pass. I'm gonna go 3, but then we just lower it down a little. We're gonna slow it down to 1500, and the plunge rate we're gonna increase it to 500. That's all good. Bam, bam, bam. And then my tabs, let's make them smaller. 10. Good. So that all that should be done, and that's my base being cut out of the big chunk of material, all nice and round. So we're gonna put all this change to a base. So we'll rename this. This is the base. This is the base. Okay. And then I'm gonna create a new layer, and this layer is gonna be the actual top. And then this top, I'm gonna create a new file. I'm gonna create a circle. If you hold the shift key, it maintains the proportions. And just I just want to make sure that I do the right size. 235. So we're gonna go click here, and I go 235, 235. Keep the proportions, yes. Good. Then this other circle here. That is, I'm gonna create another circle. Shift, and then this one here is what? 146.6. So we're gonna click on this one. We're gonna do this 146.6. Okay. Keep proportions. Yeah. Then we're gonna center these two. Good. Now this here is gonna be my second layer. So I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go and move selection to this layer. I do not want to see this other layer. I'm gonna bring this in, move it here. Now my other layer, my top layer, is 14.9 thick, and we have determined that this is 9.6, and I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna go deep about 8.5. So this here we're gonna set up different. So this pocket here, to start here, this pocket go to toolpath, and I gotta disable this so I don't see it. So this toolpath for this pocket here, which is where it's gonna embed on this top part of the rotating base, we're gonna do a pocket, and that pocket is gonna be 8.5 millimeters deep. Okay, and we're gonna call this a top pocket. Okay, let's make a new group. So create a new toolpath group, and let's move that one down here. Okay, then we're gonna enable that one. Then this one here is the outer. So we're gonna go back to design. Let's put some tabs. I like to put, when I do a circle, I like to put my tabs in the area that I will have the most of my material. So here's, I will say, it's a weaker point than this areas here. That's why I put them on there. We go back to here, and then we're gonna create a contour, and we determine this is what, 14.9. So let's go to 15.5. We're gonna cut that. We're gonna cut on the outside right, and we're gonna use the 1/4 inch. All that, bam, 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 the same. 10, and this is gonna be top cutout. Okay. So if I go back here, This one, what tool I'm using for this? I'm using the 1/4 inch. So I got the option to either use the 1/4 inch and then don't save myself a tool change, or go with the 1/2 inch. In this case, I'm just gonna keep it. That way I just don't have to switch tools again, or the bits. So that's gonna be it. That's good there. Let me check my parameters here. Oh, that's one. I can reduce some time here. If I go to 3 millimeters deep, I'm gonna reduce this to about 15. I'm gonna increase this to 500. I might step over. I'm gonna reduce it to 3. That way I get nice and flat. And okay, let's see what's my time. Oh, it went to 10 minutes. This is good. What I'm looking at here for the cut, I can go back to 3, go down to 15. Basically same parameters here, and that should drop it a little bit. Cool, that's pretty good. I'll take that. So now I have my top and my base. I think that's all I need to do. So let's just disable this group, enable this group, and then I gotta go back to design here and enable this and then hide that, so I can see whatever. So this is what I'm gonna be doing. So let's review what I just did. So we're gonna make a pocket that is 24 millimeters deep, that it is the circumference of my base. I'm gonna make a little pocket on the back so I can access the controls, and then lastly I'm gonna cut out that shape out of a thick, about 3.5 inch thick piece of material. Okay, and keep in mind we're doing this from the top, so what you do is you take a look at your material, which one you want to be what is going to be seen. In this case, has some knots, but those knots is pretty much all good. That's going to get carved out, and since I have the base, nobody's going to see it. I'll just pick a side that I like the best. I'm going to use this for this side is going to be my bottom, so I'm going to carve out on this side, and I just got to place this on the right spot. So I'm going to start cutting from this corner over, and hopefully I get the space that I need. And there's 200 and what I said, 235. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna knock out. You see it here? Here we go. Here, I'm gonna knock out this piece here, so I can place it like this, and then that flat area is gonna end up here, and should be all good. So let's do that really quick. I gotta do it over there. I'm not gonna bring you over. So in the meantime, just look at the background. I just knocked that out. That was easy. I used my bandsaw, make it quick. So now let's go to the CNC. I'm gonna change again cameras here. Hopefully you can still hear me. So here's the material on the base. Gonna set up with that. Then I'm going to go to carbide create again, and we're gonna do these first two. This third one we're gonna do later. So I disable that one. So disable. We're just gonna process those to make sure that these are disabled. All yeah. We're gonna save toolpath. Yes, with the G Pro. It's gonna tell me where to save it. We're gonna call this 25 10 30 base cut number 1. I gotta load the file. See, this is the things that you do and you mess up if you're not really paying attention what you need to do. Okay, company. That's the base. Open that file. So that's the file. We're gonna do, let's go to XYZ0. Perfect. I need to turn on the spin. So I gotta turn on the spinner, the spindle. You can hear it spinning up. Now I'm gonna turn on the vacuum so it's gonna get loud. And I'm gonna adjust the camera a little bit here. And I'm gonna switch this. Next thing I need to do is click start. So we'll click start the job. Everything should be good. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna disable these two processes. We're gonna enable this process. Okay. Just to verify what we're looking at here, 35 outside, 10mm tabs, 1/4" bit. Good. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. Okay, and we're just going to tell it to process. Save the toolpath. I'm just going to call it number 2. Second step, I'm going to go here, bring this, load the file, all the locations, here, 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 2, open, and then just so you know, you don't have to redo the X and Y if you didn't move the head. So like, just be careful when you're switching the bit, and don't move your head or your spindle carrier out of position. And if you do that, it should be on the same XYZ spot, and then you just gotta change the head, change the bit, and readjust your Z, your height, and all should be good. So that's what we're doing here. We're gonna go back to XYZ 0, move to the corner, and we're gonna click start. And I'm gonna turn on the vacuum. Start. Oh, that thing sounds funky. Really good. Got a little onion skin here. Break the onion skin really easy. Base like this. You can see the controls. Nice. Perfect. Let's get the next part. Cable. Well, it's the next day, and I spared you having to watch me paint the trophy and all that. So I decided just to get all that done in the background and put it all together. And I will get you some information on what it looks like, but you can see it in the back. Here it is. The head is not glued, so I'm a little concerned about making it spin. So I'm gonna make it spin. I'm gonna have my hands really readily in case it jerks or something. But that's what it's gonna look like. Isn't that sweet? So that's what that trophy looks like. Just gonna unplug it. Perfect position too. So that's what that looks like, the final product. So a few things on this, on the trophy. So the top of the rotating base, as I was able to separate the two pieces, so the bottom of the rotating base and the actual rotating part of it, I was able to separate it, and there was enough room there to screw the top to the top of the trophy. And then the same with the bottom, there was enough space on the bottom around it that it will not interfere with the movement to screw it to the base. And I still was able to put it back together. It has like some little plastic clips, so I was very careful not to break them. And it has some ball bearings and greasy part over there. Anyway, so after painting, I put the lid, the top of the rotating base into the top part, drill some holes through the plastic, drive some screws, same in the bottom, put it in the bottom. I end up doing by hand a hole on the bottom so the battery is accessible, since I was gonna glue it, screw it to the base. So I drew a hole, I made a hole in the bottom in which you can access still the battery. Let me see if I can show you that. So let me take the head out because I don't want it to break. And if you lift this, if you see in the bottom, there's a hole to be able to access the battery. So if they want to run it with a AA battery, they can do that. If not, here is the base. They can power it with a regular USB port. Everything is glued together, so it's not gonna fall apart. That was my concern. If I didn't screw it or glue it together, that it will fall apart when they're trying to move it and it could break. But I did not want to glue it because I was concerned about if at any point or something happens, the rotating base stops working. Someone that has some ingenuity be able to take it apart, get the right part, and put it back together. So that's why I decided to screw it instead of gluing it all together. I think it's a better option. It spins, it does amazing work, and tomorrow I'm gonna be turning into my customer. In this case, I'm in the third party, so I'm gonna turn it into the contractors, and the contractors are gonna give it to the actual customer. But yeah, I think it was a really fun project, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Everybody enjoyed how I go through my design process and some of the bits and pieces of how I get a project like this done. It was basically a concept. If I remember, I might put some photos of what it was sent to me initially. It was basically a sketch on a piece of paper, and I will put it there if I can find it on one of my messages. If not, just imagine someone just draw a piece of paper square on top of the base and an eagle head on the top and say, hey, could you make this? And I went through the process, and I think it came out fairly decent. It came out fairly decent. I'm very happy with the results, and hopefully when the customer gets it tomorrow or later tomorrow or early next week, they are happy and I don't have to rework it. You know, it's always a guess because what sometimes the customer's expectations versus what can be achieved are a little different, but I think it is an amazing product. It looks really sharp. Hopefully it meets and exceeds customers' expectations. That's all I have for you today. I'm trying to do more of these videos. It's a little bit hard between actually accomplishing some actual work plus doing the videos and recording myself. It takes me quite a bit of editing this video. The day of that I accomplished this, most of it was about a 4.5 hour video total that I recorded in different clips. I edited down this to this video, which is close to 45 minutes. So it was quite a bit of a video. The actual time of doing this product was about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So the rest of the video was me doing stuff here in the shop. And if you have my, if you follow me in Facebook for my business, you'll be able to see it there. If you want to see the whole thing, it's basically me unedited, raw, all around the shop, and accomplishing different things that I need to do for the shop. But without trying to drag this anymore, thank you for watching this video. And I won't promise that there's going to be one every week, but I'm going to try to get them out at least a couple times a month. That way you get to see what I'm doing in the shop. Thank you for everything, and have a nice evening. Bye. God bless you.